300, that's it. And this phone gets you a 6500 milliamp hour battery, a 50 megapixel main camera with built-in OIS, it's a Sony sensor, dynamic RGB lighting across those lenses, and a display that will hit 3500 nits of peak brightness. That isn't really normal for a phone at £299, but the Poco X8 Pro is offering a lot, and I'll be honest, pretty much all of it holds up. As mentioned earlier, the display is a 3500 nits of peak brightness, but it's 6.59 inches with 120 hertz, and you also get 3840 hertz of PWM dimming. It is an LTPS panel, so it's not the most power efficient, but it is a stunning display with excellent color reproduction and quality. So watching content on here is really, really great. You also get an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor built into the display, which is super fast and almost never, ever fails, regardless of what you've got on your hands. Even if you've got a bit of moisture, it works absolutely perfectly. Then the design elements, let's quickly touch on those. The X8 Pro design is excellent, if not a little bit reserved, because you actually get red color accents around the lenses themselves, which you can see at certain angles and certain lighting. It's really, really nice. And you get a split frame color back panel, I guess, the best way to describe it. And again, it looks really good. Aluminium frame all along the sides, and then glass back on the rear, which is really, really cool. And we mentioned around those RGB lights built in and around those sensors, they can actually be fully customized depending on the app you're using. For example, if you're using Spotify, it will actually color change as you move along. But that setting, when you try to find it, is buried deep. In fact, let me talk you through it. You have to unlock your phone, go to settings, additional settings, then under special features, you'll find backlight effect. And that's where it's buried. Personally, it should have been just in the settings on, say, display or lights or whatever, or customization, just been buried there rather than going 4 menus deep. But let us know in the comment section your thoughts on that bit. The lenses on the rear, as we said, Sony 50 megapixel main sensor with OIS. The other one is an 8 megapixel ultra wide, as you would expect. Now the main lens outputs images which are often great in terms of dynamic range and contrast, and generally photos look really good and detailed with a nice blend between natural and an added bit of vibrancy, which I'm okay here because it doesn't look over processed. Even at 2x, images are really good, and again, detail is excellent and retains much of the same quality that you'd find on the main lens at 1x, at 2x, and there's no drop off in quality either, which is sick. The ultra wide takes photos at 8 megapixels, which is okay, is not the greatest, but it does offer a wide dynamic range and nice colors. Detail is pretty good as well. Nothing to really shout about here, but it does a fairly good job. Selfie images is again decent, especially with what's on offer. 20 megapixel sensor, retains a good amount of detail and contrast as well. And I would say I'm pretty happy with its skin detection and its color reproduction in terms of skin tones. Video is 1080p here. Nothing to shout about, but it does look okay, but stay away from really brighter, vibrant areas. Video on the rear though, 4K 60 looks really, really good. Nice, detailed, sharp, very representative of what the main lens looks like as well. The X8 Pro, in terms of power, is done through a Dimensity 8500 Ultra. It's basically a Dimensity 8500 with branding, essentially. And it does throttle a decent amount and 3D Mark's Lifestyle Extreme test, and you do see some variances in the loop score as well. But what I would say is, in terms of the other spec, this is the 12 gigabyte, 512 gigabyte storage. That 12 gig of RAM actually gives you an LPDDR5X RAM and UFS 4.1 storage, which is found in those top level flagships, which this, of course, at that $299 price is not for sure. And it runs really, really well. In fact, HyperOS 3 runs incredibly well. Opening and closing apps super smooth, multiple apps open, multitasking opening. That is very, very good and doesn't crash in any way at all. The X8 Pro has a number of really, really useful features. And on the AI front, it does two things incredibly well. One, AI writing as a whole is very fast, efficient, and works incredibly well, and you get a ton of options built into the phone. AI Eraser, again, does a very, very, very good job in detecting subjects and being able to remove them in a way and still retain a lot of the natural flow of the image. But what I would say that's surprising is this phone that costs $299 has all of the exact same AI features that you find on the flagship 17 Ultra, which is 4x the cost of this phone, which is pretty surprising. One downside to note though, as always, we always bring this up, is preloaded apps are a lot on here. You find them everywhere on here. But the good news is you can delete most, if not all of them. The other good news is, in terms of OS support, 5 years of OS support, of 5 OS updates, and 6 years of security updates, which is incredible. Not quite at that 7 years that Samsung, Google, and Apple are doing, but still very, very good and definitely move in the right direction for Xiaomi. The performance of this phone shines in two very distinct places. One, battery life, because on this phone you get absolutely crazy, insane battery life. For in fact, just to show you what I mean, if you had this phone at say around 60%, which is what we have here, you're still getting 21 hours of usage time still, and we've used this for 21 hours and 11 minutes. So essentially you're going to get at least 2 days worth of usage off this particular phone, and it's a 6500 mAh battery, silicon carbon. But then you also benefit from a wired charging speed of 100 watts, which means 0 to 100% in just 38 minutes. It does not have wireless charging, and that plug does not come in the box, just to let you know. The other bit that it performs really, really well is gaming, because Call of Duty Mobile using max settings will stay stable at 60 frames per second on this phone, and not only does it look good, it also sounds really good. So around 3 months into 2026, and the Poco X8 Pro is an easy recommendation. Granted, there's a couple small issues. One, there's no wireless charging support, which is a bit of a shame, and there's no eSIM support, and there is no, of course, telephoto lens, and there is some throttling on the CPU. But those to me are just minor downsides, because all those elements would then increase the price a lot. At that $299 price point, this is going to be a very, very difficult phone to beat in 2026. You get a stunning display, great design, really well built, and a fantastic OS and support for the long term as well. So if you're looking for a mid-range phone in 2026 and you don't want to spend say £500 or you want to spend $300, get the Poco X8 Pro. We want you to let us know in the comment section below your thoughts on this Poco X8 Pro. Is this something you would buy? If not, what's your alternative? Let us know below. And if you found this review helpful, drop us a like and subscribe. Until next one, as always, we out.